Here at British Gypsum, we're dedicated to creating products and systems that produce the minimal amount of waste. But we also realize that building and renovation projects naturally produce offcuts of plasterboard waste, which needs to be disposed of responsibly. As a result, we've developed a straightforward service to take back and recycle plasterboard. Whether you're working on a commercial or residential development, we'll supply everything you need to collect your waste plasterboard. Depending on your preference, we'll provide you with bags, dump bins or skips and collect them from your building site at times that are convenient for you. When your containers are ready, we'll pick them up and transport them to one of our dedicated recycling centres throughout the country. We'll provide comprehensive feedback on the weight and volume of the waste we recycle for you, allowing you to see the financial benefits of recycling whilst fulfilling your duty of care obligations. At our dedicated recycling centres, the waste plasterboard is checked and filtered to remove any unwanted material. This waste cycle site in Nottingham is capable of handling at least 50,000 tonnes of gypsum waste per year, material which would previously have been sent to landfill. We also have a recycling centre in London called Bywaters. The filtered waste is then transferred to one of our purpose-built recycling plants in the UK. Before it's brought back into the production process, the plasterboard waste needs to undergo a rigorous cleansing process. It must be filtered, refined and checked for quality and consistency in order to meet our rigorous quality standards. First, it's blended with other gypsum material in giant stores to eliminate inconsistencies within the recyclable material. From there, the waste board is loaded into an industrial grinder which breaks down large sections of recyclable material into dry flakes, which is then transferred onto a conveyor belt. This entire process is computer controlled and monitored at every stage to ensure consistency and quality. The plasterboard dry flakes are then transported to a second grinder where it's broken down again to achieve an even textured consistency. These finer flakes are then spun to remove any pieces of paper lining used on the outside edges of plasterboard which may be left in the mixture. These filtered scraps of paper lining are then siphoned away and the resulting byproduct is recycled into cattle bedding. The flakes are then passed through several powerful industrial magnets to remove any metal particles before being blended again, this time into our store of raw gypsum. Samples are laboratory tested on site to ensure the consistency and quality of all gypsum is maintained before it enters the manufacturing process. This gypsum is now ready to be used to make new plasterboard. The approved gypsum is refined and heated to 150 degrees centigrade to break it down into a light powder suitable for use in the manufacturing process. The gypsum is then mixed with water and special additives to form slurry, which is extruded between two giant rolls of recycled paper to make plasterboard. The board is then cut into lengths, turned and dried in our fully automated manufacturing process. The finished boards are stored on site, ready for distribution to construction projects around the UK, bringing the whole process full circle. The efficiencies in our recycling process now mean that it's cheaper to recycle plasterboard waste than it is to send it to landfill, making recycling not only best for the environment, but also the optimal business choice. So, whether you're planning a new project or you're already on site, a simple phone call is all it takes to start the process. Call British Gypsum today and discover the easy way to recycle your waste plasterboard.